Hello everybody, SlimKirby here, welcome back to more Let's Play Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. Today we're going to start Part 4, Chapter 5. After this chapter, we'll be at the endgame. And so will map commentary!
Tibarn's group passes quickly through Salmo, drawing steadily closer to the Imperial capital. The hardships of the journey lead the group to overcome their racial differences and form bonds of friendship and trust. However, Almeida, the Queen Mother of Dain, remains alone and aloof, lost in thoughts of her own. Her son, Peleus, also seems to guard some secret thought tucked deep within his heart.
Chapter 5, Unforgivable Sin. So, yeah, stuff. Why do they keep talking about Almeida? I'm seriously tired of Almeida right now. So yeah, they're actually talking about a very important plot point that I'm going to be going over later. And when I say later, I mean end of the game later. So yeah, that's... This line right here is very, very important. I'll just go ahead and say that right now. And yeah, this is something else that's kind of important. That will also revolve around that thing I just mentioned. Although, no, never mind. I guess they're going to explain that right here. Well, no, I guess this is an important plot point that, again, will be explained later, but... yeah, that's basically, the nail on the head. The goddesses forbid Laguz and Bjork to procreate. And yeah, if that ever happens, the Laguz parent will get, not really cursed, but they will, like, essentially lose their Laguz powers, and they will be more like an actual Bjork. That's basically the, whole thing with that. But anyway, it seems like we have some visitors right now. Uh-oh. If you've played Path of Radiance, that should sound familiar. It's Bastian. Bastian has returned. Crimea's tactician has returned. Lord Jester. I do like that nickname. Oh, Tibarn and Bastian. And yay, Jeffrey's here too. But who is this person he's with? But yeah, it looks like Jeffrey has to get a little bit of flirting in, so the game's gonna allow him to do that for now. And here's another familiar face from Path of Radiance. It's Volke, who's actually been working with Bastian for a while. What? They're captive? Looks like we have to go chase a prisoner. But seriously, who is this mysterious man right here? I'm getting rather curious about that. A mysterious escaped prisoner? A man shrouded in black? It's a big night for secrets, isn't it? That's the one thing I will agree with Lucia about. But for now, we have to go to the base, I believe. That is correct. Okay, MVP of the last chapter. No doubt Ike, that's for sure. Yeah, I kind of figured. But it's fine. I don't really mind that much. Info conversations, we have 2. Here's the first one. There's actually 3 variations of this. Here's Amy. Amy is Khalil's daughter. And you'll get 3 different conversations depending on different outcomes. You'll get this one if Khalil is on this team. You'll get another one if Khalil is on a different team. And you'll get the 3rd and final one if Khalil happened to die during the earlier parts of the game. So, yeah. There are 3 variations of this conversation, so just thought I'd go ahead and mention that. And she came here with Jeffrey. And apparently, Largo was turned to stone. Because he's not strong anymore, he can't fight anymore, so that's kind of the logic they used there. He wasn't strong enough to defend himself from the judgment, so I found that kind of interesting. But that also brings the question of, Largo turned to stone, but how did Amy not turn to stone? That's pretty interesting. Now, I will say that if there's anything in this game that kind of brings up a possible 3rd game, it's the whole Amy storyline, but like, I'm going to go ahead and still dismiss the possibility of a 3rd game anyway. You'll see why when we actually reach the end of this game, but, yeah. If there ever was something that could open up the possibility for a 3rd game, then Amy would definitely be involved in something. But anyway, if Khalil is here, you do get a small extra bit of the conversation. And yeah, that's what that one's all about. And here's a conversation with Peleus. Obviously, if Peleus died, or like, you know, you killed off Peleus, this conversation will not be here. But, you know, if you do bring him here, you do get something good out of it. So let's go ahead and look at this one. Oh wow. Almeida actually helped us out for once. And you get another Fenrir tome, which I think I wasted mine, so that was kind of good that I got that. Oh wait, no, I still had one more use. Well, either way, I believe you can actually buy some more dark tomes in the shop. Yeah, you can buy Worm and another Karo spell. But anyway, I think I'm done for right now. Let me go ahead and check. Yeah, it seems like it. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and quickly do some off-camera work, and then I'll be right back in a jiffy. See you guys then. Okay, guys, I am back. A few quick things. Gave a little bit of BXP to people, also did a little bit of weapon exchanging, and I also got Peleus up to level 20. And apparently Dark Sages can also use Thunder Magic, so I also gave him a few Thunder Tomes as well. And I gave him a heal staff, because once he promotes, he'll be able to use staffs, so that was my logic there. Actually, there was something else I thought about doing that I probably should think about now. Actually, I'll do this. Basically, I'm going to promote Peleus through a Master Crown, which yeah, I have one Master Crown. Okay, good. So yeah, Peleus is going to use that to promote. I also gave him the Paragon skill just for him to catch up. He's not too far behind, though. And also, worth mentioning this, he's maxed everything except luck. He has very crappy luck, but he maxed everything else, and also he didn't max HP either, but whatever. So yeah, that's my Peleus right now. Pretty good unit, I have to say. I'm rather proud of how my Peleus turned out. Actually, I didn't mean to give that crown to Barn. I meant to actually do this. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and buy a Worm spell. Give that to Tabarn. And then Tabarn's going to trade the crown over to Peleus, and then he'll give the Worm spell later. And also, worth mentioning, and I think I'm going to go ahead and buy this too, you can actually get the Birdfoe skill through the bargain bin. This one works exactly like the Dragonfoe and Beastfoe skills, which I have 2 of those right now. I really should have actually put the Dragonfoe skill in the convoy, though, because that could be very helpful right now. For now, though, I'm going to do this. First off, Peleus, can you use a skill? No, you can't. Okay, well, never mind. I'm trying to think of different things to give people. I'm trying to think of what would be the best unit to actually take out birds, and the best one to take out beasts. I think beasts are generally faster, so if I give this to, like, you know, a fast unit or someone who has possibly Vantage or something, that might be a good one. I don't want to give Birdfoe to Rolf, because Rolf really doesn't need it. Mostly I see myself in this chapter probably using my generals, but Danved will probably do a lot as well. Maybe well, I don't know. It's hard to say who exactly I'm going to be using. Obviously, my generals are going to be very important because of their defenses. That is one thing for sure. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to give my foe skills to these guys. They have the same speed at the same level, which means Gotry's probably a bit faster in the long run, so I'm going to give him Beast Foe. Again, this is probably not the best idea, but I really don't care. I'll be taking these off anyway. And I'm going to give you Bird Foe. Okay, I think that's about it. I think I've done my part. I think I can leave now, and I am. So let's go ahead and save our game. Once again, kind of an unnecessary save. And we've actually reached the 40-hour mark. Hooray. Hooray for that, I guess. So here we are. We're going to find out who this escaped prisoner is. Look who's back. There is Azuka, which means we're finally going to rip Azuka's face off, which I've been wanting to do since the beginning of this frickin' game. Oh, thank God. So yeah, he's using this spell, or whatever he's doing, to summon the feral ones. And yeah, this is going to be a Laguz battling chapter. This is going to be a very tough chapter. I can already say that. This chapter does take a while. It's probably going to be about the same length as the last chapter. But this is a very great chapter to gain experience. This really is. This is a tremendous chapter to gain experience. Now, there are a few things you need to keep in mind when doing this chapter. First, though, I have to get rid of a few units, which I have no problem with. I think these are all the units, but we're going to add Peleus. And we're also going to add Bastian to our group. You're probably wondering why. Well, first of all, I'll have to explain his abilities anyway. But I'll get into that in a little bit. Let me actually get ready here. Obviously, as you can see, we're going to want to have a very tight defense. And thankfully, I think we're up to that task. We have a lot of strong units. Who has more defense? Okay, you have more defense, so yeah, you'd probably be better over here, Gotry. Who has the second best defense? Probably Danved. The amazing Danved. 25. Oh, your defense is good too. Danved, your defense is not as good as I thought it was. Makalov's defense is awesome. It's better than a level 7 Marshal. That's kind of weird. Oscar, I'm not too impressed with you, but I don't have a lot of units here. I just realized that. I have more magic users and archers in this than I thought I had normal units, but that's fine. I can use Alencia too. But yeah, that's all I need to do for right now. Obviously, you could probably see that unit in the bottom right corner, which is Volke, and let's go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use Bastian to go over here and talk to Volke. So yeah, there we go. Volke has joined the battle. And we have Bastian and Volke now. Let's go ahead and explain them. First we have Bastian. Bastian is an archsage already, which means he can use any magic of the anima triangle, but he specializes in wind magic specifically, and he can also use staves as well. He's a pretty good magic user. You can kind of put him on your team at the very end of the game if you don't have a good magic user with you. He has very high strength for some reason, so if you ever want to use staff combat, you can, but obviously not recommended. His magic's really high, resistance really high. Even his defense is really not that bad, but obviously, well, Peleus is not that good either, but that'll change. But yeah, Bastian's, you know, a good unit if you don't have any other units. That's basically all I have to say about him. Of course, he has the skill flare as well. Next, let's talk about Volke. Volke is an assassin. Assassins are much like Whispers, but I think they specialize in slightly different abilities. Obviously, Volke is very, very powerful, and he's also very speedy and skillful. His defense is a little lower than you'd like them to be, but, you know, he's a good unit. You can definitely put him on the field and have good results with him. He has 2 abilities we haven't seen before. Well, he also has a 25%, or no, 25 plus critical percentage increase. He has the skill Stillness, which negates the chance an enemy will detect the unit and attack. And it does not work on all enemies. It's kind of like the skill that Ileana starts with. I think it's Shade, but it's obviously more effective. And he also has the skill Lethality, which can kill with a single strike, and like Bane, it doesn't work on all opponents. So he's pretty much a more powerful Soth, what you would kind of hope Soth would be. But it's cool. So yeah, those are the 2 units we have here. Volke's actually a pretty good unit to have here, just to have, you know, an extra set of hands, I guess you could say. I'll definitely be using him to kind of block things off a little more. Anyway, let's actually get started now. Let's get started with the things and the stuff. This is going to be a very interesting battle. This battle is going to take me a very long time to finish. I can already say that now. As for options, I think I can actually turn off everything. I am going to put Peleus's back on because I will be using him in his new class soon, so you'll probably want to see that. Don't need to see Rolf anymore, and don't need to see Alencia anymore either, I guess. I don't know why hers were even on. It's kind of weird. Oh no, I turned them on so I could kill Valtome. That's right, okay. Well, I'm good to go. Never mind. I'm just being all weird and stuff, forgetting things and other stuff. Okay, I meant to give you a short spear or something, but I forgot. I think it'll be fine. But anyway, as you can tell, we're going to try to patch this up as best as we can. Obviously, we're going to be 1 short of, like, actual fighting units, so we will have to stick Tabarn in a random place, but I don't think Tabarn will mind that at all. So, let's go ahead and shift. Keep you right there. And now, I think it's time to watch Peleus promote, so yeah, let's go ahead and watch. This will be the... No, it won't. No, it won't. Never mind. I was getting ready to say this is going to be the last promotion of the game, but that's actually false. Anyway, Peleus promotes from a Dark Sage to an Archsage. He doesn't get a Druid class or a... whatever Azuka is, a Summoner class. Azuka's the only Summoner in the game, by the way. Just FYI. Okay, so yeah, now we have an Archsage, which means now Peleus can use staves, which is nice. And yeah, that's our last, like, normal promotion. There will be another promotion that we'll see a little bit later. You guys can probably guess who it is, just based on common knowledge, I guess. But yeah, we'll be seeing that later. For now, we have a battle we have to do, and, one thing you probably noticed, especially from the start of this battle, we have some pretty tough opponents here, and I'm not talking about, like, just, you know, strong Laguz units in general. I'm talking about frickin' dragons. This is the first time, I believe, we actually fight dragons, unless you want to count wyverns as dragons, but I don't, obviously. And basically there's two types of dragons. There's the white dragon and the red dragon, and I'll explain what they both do momentarily, or rather the difference between the two. I don't know why they're attacking Tamarn over Gotri. Doesn't make any sense. Maybe it does and I'm just stupid, I don't know. But one thing I will say about this chapter that I think I already mentioned, this place is a good chapter to gain experience because I believe Azuka summons Laguz units on every single turn until like turn 30, I think. So yeah, you'll get a lot of experience from this. Anyway, red dragons. Red dragons specialize in high strength and high defense. White dragons specialize in high magic and high resistance. That is because red dragons have physical attacks and white dragons have magical attacks. Keep that in mind for a future chapter, because that is going to be a big part of your strategy, I guess you could say. Anyway, let's go ahead and watch Peleus. His skill is also Flare, if you couldn't figure that out, but that was kind of obvious anyway, so... Hooray! Peleus can actually hit things accurately now that he's actually promoted. He also looks a lot cooler in his new outfit. Like, seriously, he looks like badass right now. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think I'm gonna take Peleus into my final team. I basically have my final team figured out, like everyone who I want to take into the final chapter. Not necessarily my team, because there's one unit that could be more clarified as, you know, a unit that I'm taking with just for, like, safety. But yeah, I essentially know who I am going to take, so that information is no longer... I mean, I guess it could still be a secret technically, but basically, yeah, that's what I'm thinking for right now. Trying to think about how to approach this part. Actually, I can do this. This is not rocket science or anything. But it is very important that we have Peleus with us, because dragons have a very big weakness to thunder magic, and unless you actually bring like someone who you've been using thunder magic with, Peleus is a good substitute because, well, you know, his class specializes in, well, no, it specializes in dark magic, but, you know, thunder magic is one of the technical specializations anyway, so that is one good thing you have about Peleus in this part of the game. And why did I do that? That was a very stupid move. I feel like an idiot for doing that. Actually, no, I might be fine. I'm just being very, very paranoid again. Yeah, I'll be fine. I can just move him over. But yeah, as I said, expect to be doing this the entire time, because that is essentially what this chapter is. A lot of this. A lot of moving around, destroying units, watching as more units come as reinforcements, repeating the process over and over and over again. So yeah, get used to that. Oh, that was a good level up, Danved, I have to admit. Need to heal, though.